essential as long as you've got a spot of floor. And I know my head will get cut off in some of these standing positions when we do come into standing position. So we're going to start standing today. And I'm just going to get a little bit warmed up. So just shake out through the legs. And we're going to take a couple of nice big little hip circles. So lift the hips up and around. So really tuck the tailbone under, pull the belly in and up. And nice little round circles through the hips. Just to get a little bit of movement through the hips. So we'll be doing a little bit of sort of hip movement and that kind of thing today to get that all moving. So this is just going to start to warm that all up. And one more to even it out, and we'll take it around the other direction. So bring it out to the side and into center, out to the side and into center. Awesome. Two more. And one. Awesome. And take a nice little shake out. Beautiful. From here, we'll bring left leg out to the back and just little toe taps. So just warming up through the glute here. Same thing, keep the belly drawn in and up. And bring it onto the other side. And done. Nice. Release there. I'm going to step our right leg back into a lunge position here. So keep the belly drawn in again. Keep everything as stable as you can. I'm going to come into a couple of lunges just to start getting the heart rate up a little bit. And done. Once you come down into this lunge, we're going to bring the arms out to the side. So I'll turn slightly on an angle so you can see. Arms come all the way out to the side. And we're just going to tilt over to one side. Draw the belly in, use the belly for support, and control it over to the other side. So staying down in that lunge position. Challenging your balance, challenging your core. Nice and stable. One more on each side. And coming back to center. Take a couple of little pulses down here in the bottom in your lunge. And coming on back up to stand. Shake out the legs. We're going to come straight onto the other side. So stepping left leg forward, right leg back. And take our lunges. So keep the hips facing straight forward. And that front knee doesn't come any further forward than your heel, ideally. So if it's starting to come out over the toes, think about dropping the back knee down a little bit more, or maybe stepping into a longer stance. And from here, hold it down in that lunge. Arms come out to the side. And we'll take our little aeroplane. So down to our right first, and then over to the left. If you need to cactus your arms slightly because you've got a wall or something in the way like I do, that's absolutely fine. Work the control here. 2, and one last one. And take a couple of little pulses down the bottom for 12. And 1, standing back up, shake out those legs. I don't know about you, my legs are burning. Awesome. Let's work into the back of the legs. We've done a lot of work into the front of the legs, into the thighs, and into the core. So let's bring it back. And we're basically going to take a little pendulum. So you've got a couple of different options here. First one is just to keep the hands on the hips and hinge. Really keep the belly drawn in, keep the shoulders drawn back. Second one, if you want, is to bring the arms out overhead. Keep the hips facing down towards the floor. We don't want that hip winging up. Keep the hips nice and level. Two, and control it here. And done. Let's go second side. Let's go hinge. Draw the shoulder blades back. 2. And one more. Lifting it back up. Give those legs a nice little shake out. And left leg comes back, little toe taps. And coming onto the other side. So really draw the belly in. Work to stabilize your back. Five, 4, and 3, 2, and done. Release. Give those legs a nice little bit of a shake out again if you would like. And we're going to come into one more round of those. So let's step, we might do 2 depending on how we go for time. So stepping right leg back, or left leg back, sorry. Let's go into our lunges. Three, 2, and 1. Hold it down. Bring the arms out to the side. Cactus if you need. And tilt to the side. And back to the other side. Really draw the belly in to help stabilize you here. Three, awesome, 2, and make sure you're even here, and little pulses down the bottom. 2, and 1, step it up, shake out the legs. Don't know about you, it's burning out my thighs. Stepping right leg back, other leg. Or other leg, doesn't have to be right, and we'll take our lunges. Just check out your form here, make sure the front knee is staying over the heel. Three, and 2, And one more, hold it down, cactus the arms, little side to side. Two more. And one. Back to center, little pulses in the middle. And lifting back up, shake out those legs, ouch. Thighs are working here. Let's bring it to the back. And we'll take our little toe taps to the back, mixing up the order a little bit this time around. And we'll take our hinge forward from the hips. So arms might come up, control it back up, really brace your core. Working through the backs of the legs here. Two. And one more. And let's come into the other side. So we'll take it back, little toe taps or arabesque. And keep that leg back, we'll tilt it into our pendulums. So really keep the belly drawn in. You're halfway through these pendulums. That's it, 4. And 3. And 2. And one more. Lifting it back up, take a little shake out through the legs. And we'll take a little lateral lunge. And lunge out. Beautiful. Step 1 foot forward, take a little hamstring stretch and release. And we'll take that onto the other side. And heel up into the butt. And bring it onto the other side. And release there. We'll take one more round of these and then we'll come down to the mat. So shake out the legs again and we'll step our left leg back to start off with. Set things up, tuck the tailbone under here, really draw the belly in, squeeze the glutes and straight into our lunges and see if that helps make things a little bit more stable. Let's go 2 and 1, hold it down, cactus the arms, take that little side to side, aeroplane. And one more on each side. And back up. Take those little pulses at the bottom. Keep the tailbone tucked under. And step it in. Nice work coming on to the other side. Let's go our lunges. So lower down, lift up. Keep that tuck of the tailbone. Glutes draw in, belly draws in. Try and stay nice and stable. And I take a wobble just as I say that. Always perfect timing. 2 and 1. Hold it down, cactus the arms. Let's take this for 12, little aeroplanes. Two more. One more, little pulses at the bottom. And lift it back up. Take a nice little shake out. Grab a drink if you like. We're going to come into those pendulums. So we'll take our little arabesque first. So tuck the tailbone under, squeeze the glutes, engage the core. Left leg comes back. And keep that leg back and hinge and lift. Option for the arms. Two more. And one more. Lift it up. Let's take our right leg, second side. Brace everything, draw everything in. Two and one, and let's go those pendulums. Keep it nice and controlled. And we've got two more here. And one more. And lifting up, shake out the legs. Awesome, we're going to move it on down to the mat this time around. You can take another little round of stretches if you would like. Maybe take it on to the other side. And stretch one heel out in front, take a little hamstring stretch. And take it onto the other side. Lifting on up, and let's come on down. We're going to start off today coming into all fours. So as always, I'm going to offer you a couple of different options here. So coming onto all fours, and basically what we're going to do is push the heel out to the back and bring it towards the elbow. So it doesn't have to reach the elbow, just bring it towards the elbow. So nice and slow and controlled. So that's our first option. If you feel crazy and you think you want a little bit more, then your next option is to lift the knee off the floor slightly and do it here. That knee lifted off the floor. That's going to be super strong. If you've got anything going on with your core from pregnancy and that kind of thing, I would recommend steering clear of that second option and keeping that knee on the floor. Your second option, if you want something a little bit easier, just tap the foot on the ground at the back. Draw it in, tap it at the back. Awesome. So there are your couple of options. Let's go. We're going to go for 15. You can switch the knee up, hold it there for a couple of reps if you would like. And release there. Come down into a child's pose. Just take a little moment just to stretch out through the back. And we are going to come onto that second side. So coming on back up to all fours and step yourself up and right leg comes out behind. Remembering, same options as last time. Draw it into the elbow or towards the elbow, push it back. Option to take the knee off the floor. Let's go, or tap the foot back. Awesome, there's one. Option to change between the different options as we go. Four, and 3, 2, and 1. Release it down. Take a little child's pose again if you like. Awesome. From here, coming on over, we'll take a seat. So taking a seat, and from here there's a couple of different options I'm going to offer. We're going to come into a V-sit, but depending on where your body is at this morning, there's a couple of options. So starting off, both hands around the knees. So heels are on the floor. You may have your entire foot on the floor if you want a bit more stability, or you may choose to bring the toes up in the air like mine are. So choose however feels more stable for you. Lean the body back slightly, brace the core. I'm going to bring one hand just down behind you like so. This might be your option here. If you want a little bit more, we can bring that hand that's behind you, bring it up overhead. That's going to be our most advanced option. And we're just going to hold here. So we're going to hold, taking whatever option works for you. The arm that's out in front, you can release that off the knee if that feels good. Option only. Really draw the belly in towards the spine. 3, 2, and 1. Take a little hug in of the knees. We're going to come onto our second side. So release the body back. Set yourself up again. One hand to the knee, other hand down behind you. Maybe release the arm overhead. If you went one spot on the other side, try and take the same option on this side if that works for you. Let's go 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Slowly release. Take a little hug in take a little cross-legged fold forward. Awesome. From here, take a little roll out, and we're going to do those two exercises over again. So coming on around to your all fours, and we're going to take that little bird dog type movement. So leg lifts up and bring it through, taking whatever options work for you. So if you found that was having the toe tucked under and knee lifted off the floor for the crazy version, let's do that. Otherwise, tap it down, bring it in. Let's go, setting up. Halfway. 2 and 1. Release it down. Let's take the second side. So trying to take the same option here. Just make sure you keep your core braced so your back's not arching. So we don't want to see this kick up of the butt. Keep it locked in. Let's go for 12. Halfway. Slow and controlled. 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Release it down, coming to a seat. So roll it on over. Let's take our little V-sit. So setting yourself up, feet on the floor, toes may come into the air if you feel like that's an option for you. And we lean back. Hands onto knees. Option to release one hand back for a little bit of support, and option to release the hands if that feels good. We're going to hold here roughly 20 to 30 seconds. Take your hold. And release, take a little hug in, and we'll move it on to that second side. Let's come on up, set yourself up, second side. Beautiful, hand might come back, hand might come in, or it may come overhead. So make sure you're on the opposite side. Squeeze the knees in towards center rather than letting them splay out. Hold it strong. Little shakes and wiggles are okay. And slowly release. Take that little cross-legged forward fold again. Awesome. Let's go one last round of these and then no more. So back around to all fours, setting yourself up. So shoulders draw down away from the ears. Set yourself up here in your quadruped position. Brace the core. It's almost as if you're taking a little rounding through the spine here. And option to tuck the toes under. Let's go left leg first. Back and in. Taking your options. Option to lift the back knee off. Ten. Beautiful. 2 more. And release. Beautiful, taking a little wiggle out if you need. Let's take that second side. So setting yourself up, right leg back, knee towards elbow. You're over halfway. Three, and two, and one last one. And release there. Take a little child's pose if you would like. Stretching it out. We've got one last V-sit here. Coming on around, setting yourself up. Bring the knees to center, set up your legs. And we're gonna bring one hand down behind you, other hand onto the knee. Option to reach that hand overhead if you want more. Release the other hand if you like as well. And hold. Brace your core. Holding strong. And let's take it onto the other side. Take that little cross-legged stretch if you like. Changing it on up, we bring it to the other side. So setting on up, and the hand comes in, maybe overhead. Keep the knees in towards center. And slowly release. Beautiful. One last little one. Coming on up to a high kneeling position. One last little exercise. Working into the core. So we're going to tuck the toes under here. And you're going to just take a little hinge forward. So the hands are going to come forward just like so. It's going to work into hamstrings and work into core stability as well. So your body's leaning forward slightly, hips come back slightly just to counterbalance. Almost there. And lifting back up. Take a little seat, maybe a little side to side twist. Keep it quite controlled though. And coming down into a child's pose. Take a little stretch out through the side of your body. Walk the hands over to one side. And back across to the other side. And bringing it on back up. We'll take probably 2 more rounds of that one, depending on how much time we have. And then we'll come down for our final relaxation. So tuck the toes under and take your little hinge. Really squeeze the glutes as you come up. Obviously, if the shoulders aren't working for you, you can just keep your hands on your hips here. That may be enough for you. stretch again. Maybe come out to your child's pose and release. Taking about 5 breaths here, wherever you are. And coming on back up. Bring the knees in towards center again. Set yourself up for one final round. So coming on all the way up. I don't know about you, my hamstrings are feeling this in the back of my legs. Option with the hands, just keep them on the hips, or they can come out overhead. Take 2 more. And 1 more. And lifting back up. Beautiful. From here, let's go into a little bit of a pigeon stretch. So coming to all fours, walk one knee forward, reach back, grab the foot, bring the foot across your mat slightly, and then walk the other leg back, coming into this little stretch here. If this doesn't quite work for you, you can sink the hip down onto the floor and come into these figure 4 legs, and then fold forward from there over your front leg. Take another breath or 2 in here, wherever you are. And we're going to come around to the other side. So you can come back up to all fours if you like. And we'll step the other knee forward. Reach back, grab the foot. Bring that foot across your mat. Sink the back leg further back and take it into your pigeon stretch. Option to come into those figure 4 legs or 90-90 legs if that's a bit too much for you again. Take that fold forward over the front leg. And when you're ready, slowly releasing and coming to lie all the way down onto your back. Release it down. Take a little bit of a supine twist. So sway the knees from side to side. Just opening out through the lower back. You can take it for a little rest to one side if that feels good. And maybe around to the other side. Bring it back up to center and stretch the legs out nice and long. We'll come into our final relaxation. So just lying back on the mat. Or if lying back doesn't seem comfortable for you, you can come into a comfortable seat. Whatever is comfortable for you. You have an option to close down the eyes here. Or just soften your gaze a little bit. Just take a few deep breaths as we finish our class this morning. Maybe take a big sigh or two out. And then slowly rolling over to one side and start to make your way up to a comfortable seat. So take a little roll out through the shoulders. Thank you for joining me this morning, guys. Have an amazing rest of your day, whatever you've got on. Obviously, any comments or questions, please let me know. Otherwise, hope to see you guys next week.